This podcast is part of the Batman Universe Podcast Network, hosted by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out everything related to Batman and the entire Bat family at the BatmanUniverse.net, including news and original content related to comics, movies, television, merchandise, video games, and more. Also, check out some of the other unique podcasts that TBU has to offer. Consider supporting this podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Even $1 can go a long way in supporting this content that you enjoy. Look for a link over at thebatmanuniverse.net to offer your support now. And now, on with the show.
Scarecrows frightened of the clouds, laughing boys. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Shine and signal, come out to play. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Bring it on, Batman. Jump out your cave, 'cause I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Shine that signal, come out and play.
Hey everybody, this is Dublin Dane. It's the first time I'm saying it, Tim.
I know. I was waiting to see how you were going to say it. I thought you might put a little spin on it or something. Give it a little accent.
Well, I don't want to offend the Irish, so
I can understand that.
this is the podcast known as Dublin Dane for 1 year. My name is Dane. I am the Dublin Dane. And with me, as always, is Tim. Tim, I do have a question for you.
Let's hear it.
What is the worst shop that you know of that I could give you $1,000 gift card for? And it's something that you're buying for yourself. You can't. I'm gonna buy this for my brother, my mom, my dad, my uncle, my auntie. It's for you.
I don't know. That's kind of hard because you could usually find something for yourself at a store that could be kind of useful, but I don't know, a jewelry shop maybe, because I don't any kind of jewelry.
Yeah. I was thinking the stores that they have at hospitals.
Okay.
Like you can get like a teddy bear.
Get well card, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like, how often am I going to use that? And like, it's $1,000. So.
I mean, the hope is you don't have to use
flowers. Yeah.
You don't have to use that much there, because that means you're going to the hospital a lot, and a lot of people aren't doing too good, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's probably my shop, or whatever you call it.
I don't know. Should I be expecting a gift card for one of those places to come in the mail at some point, Dane? Is that what you're preparing me for?
Yeah. You should be prepared for that, Tim. Because I'm going to be sending you a bunch of teddy bears, gift cards, or flowers, or whatever else they have in those places.
Oh, great. You would actually, Dane, if you want to send me some that is like I really don't like video games or anything like that. So,
oh yeah,
don't give me any gift cards or anything like at GameStop or Best Buy, because I just want to use it.
Yeah, or the Star Wars store online. Definitely not anything. I certainly wouldn't give you a voucher for the new Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah, because I would hate to spend a weekend setting the Star Wars.
I know. Why would
universe.
you want to do that, Tim? I mean, it looks awful. It probably is awful.
Just trying to use a little reverse psychology here. Let's see if it works.
Tim, fortunately, I'm too smart for that.
Okay.
Or at least I think I am. I don't know. But I guess we can just get into our Lord of the Rings minute by minute commentary that we do. There was a bunch of new images for the new show. I don't know if you saw it, Tim. I know you're not
I
really a
did.
fan, but um, what did you think about those new images?
It's one of those things where it's like it looks very different from what Peter Jackson did with his movies, but it's one of those things where it's like it's hard to judge just on those images. I'm just really looking forward to the trailer that we're going to get tomorrow as we're recording this episode, the Saturday before the Super Bowl. So I think once we kind of see how it looks, everything looks in motion, I'll get a better feel of it. But it's weird because like it feels like Lord of the Rings and fantasy, but yet it feels different than what we're used to with how Peter Jackson did things. And I got to be honest, one of the things that's a little bit hard, taking a little, or I should say, it's a little hard for me to grasp as that character right now is just seeing the younger version of Elrond. Maybe I'm just so used to Hugo Weaving, and when I see the image of Elrond, it just doesn't look and feel like Elrond to me. But again, it's one of those things where you can't really judge it too much just on images. You got to see the performance by the actor and everything. So, but I think it's just one of those things when you're seeing some of the characters you're so familiar with already, played by a different actor who's younger and looks totally different, might be a little bit to get used to. So that was the main thing. But I'm still very excited for it. I just can't wait to see what they're gonna do. Just a new spin on Lord of the Rings, especially set in the Second Age. I just think that's such a gold mine of an era to tell a TV series. So I think we talked about it before, how it's just ripe for some really cool stories. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I just hope once I see the trailer, it just gives me that excited feeling that, yeah, this is going to be awesome as I hope it would be. So we'll see how it is once we see the trailer tomorrow.
So, am I correct in saying that this takes place like thousands of years before?
Yeah. We're in the thousands,
Oh,
not hundreds. We're in the thousands.
thousands of years. So it's not the High Republic.
No,
It's
yeah,
like,
way further
yeah.
back than that would be.
I see. You know, that's gonna be weird, like seeing like the younger versions of, like you said, Elrond and uh,
Galadriel,
Galadriel, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like they should look pretty close to how they look in Lord of the Rings movies, because elves don't age at all. So
Yeah.
as we
Yeah.
even
So
saw in the
it's
prologue, Elrond looks the same there. But at the same time, too, it's not in the same. It's not connected with the movies, I should say. So it's not going to be like a prequel setup to the movies. It's its own thing. So it's not like they have to follow anything pretty much really closely to what Peter Jackson did. They're free to do their own stuff. It's just that when you're used to something for over 20 years now, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to see someone new in the role to fill those shoes.
Well, I can't wait to see all of the hate and disappointment that people
It's already
are gonna.
there. It's
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is getting a dose of the Star Wars reaction already, and it's just based on
Really.
images. Yeah.
And what are they saying?
Let's go back to Force Awakens when John Boyega got cast as a stormtrooper, and everyone said, "Oh,
Oh.
there can't be a black stormtrooper. What is this?
Oh
Oh,
God.
there can't be black dwarves," because he saw the picture like the dwarven princess, and
Yeah.
then you see an elf, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it just makes no sense to have like different races mixed in." It's like the typical
Oh.
stupid like racism that comes out from these people when things like that happen. It's like, here we go. It's nothing can escape that. It's just so frustrating to see that, especially in the fantasy genre where it's like you can accept these different like dragons, balrogs, elves, dwarves, but yet someone has a different color skin. That's where it's like you have to draw the line and how you can't get into it and it takes you out. It's just so ridiculous.
So people are mad that there's a black dwarven princess.
Of course, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
everyone says like it's going against what Tolkien created, and it's like not respecting the source material and all that. And it's just
How does it go against what
yeah.
Tolkien wanted or created or
It's like
whatever?
they're just using that as kind of like an excuse to show, that'll be the reason I'll use to show I don't want anyone of color in the Lord of the Rings or the
Oh.
Middle Earth universe. That's what it seems like. But
Oh.
so yeah,
Well,
that started already.
well, I'm glad I missed that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not gonna be
Oh,
the last you see it, especially once you get the trailer when the series starts. I mean, it's already to me, it's already like the Star Wars sequel trilogy. You already have the people that are already hating it, pretending to be, I'm using air quotes here, Middle Earth or Tolkien purists.
yeah, but like what are they complaining about with that with that teaser or whatever that was? I mean, it's just images of like a screensaver, right?
Of the characters, you mean, or are you talking about like those character posters?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about that teaser trailer that they released.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I thought you
Like
guys thought
the
you were telling the
landscape.
images. Well, yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
I didn't see too many complaints with that because I mean,
Mm.
I'm sure there were complaints because everyone finds something to complain about. But when you're just revealing a logo and a title of the show, I don't see how much you could complain, unless you don't like the name, maybe. But
The Rings of Power.
yeah, which I think is a great name, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, because who really cares? I mean, no offense, Jim, but who really cares about Lord of the Rings or Middle Earth if it's not about or connected to the Lord of the Rings slash the Hobbit, I guess. But I guess the Hobbit is connected to Lord of the Rings and vice versa, right?
Mhm.
So
And again, that's when you're telling a story thousands of years before the events that of the books and of the movies. It gives you so much free reign to do. Like you have free reign to do a lot of stuff that you want that you don't have to necessarily feel tied to matching up and lining things up with the events of the books and the movies.
yeah, that's true. But anyway, that's enough racism for the show. um, let's get into our minute by minute commentary. So as always, grab your DVD, grab your beta tape, grab your laser disc, your projector, um, your did I say beta?
I don't think you did.
Yes. Definitely grab your beta tape. Grab your DVHS tape. Grab your Blockbuster physical subscription card copy, I guess, with the clamshell, with that Blockbuster clamshell case. Grab your Netflix physical subscription card subscription.
I thought they had a
Um,
card, but
yeah, yeah, they didn't have. Why would you need a card?
yeah,
Grab your red envelope.
there you go.
Um, yeah, and then of course our favorite, Tim, our absolute favorite, the way that Peter Jackson wanted you to see all of his movies, including the Beatles documentary.
Yeah.
Grab your VHS to DVD converted copy via third-party program.
Yeah.
Um, so grab any one of those different formats. Forget about the digital download or the 4K Blu-rays.
I
Just
already
grab
sold my
all
4K
that.
Blu-ray box because it didn't
You
compare
know,
it to the.
what's the point?
I
Yeah.
know exactly. Couldn't compare it to the converted copy. So
So just grab any one of those, versions, and I'm gonna give the countdown. So Tim, are you ready?
I am good to go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, hit play.
Look at Bilbo's stealth hiding skills right there, putting the
Collar up.
cover of his jacket over his neck right there,
Yeah.
and it did the job.
Use your peripheral vision.
He's so used to just using the ring to get out of situations like this, so he's a little rusty on how to hide. I think we mentioned this on the last one. This is all an extended scene right here. Got to get a little more of the Saxville Bagginses in the movie, which is always appreciated.
Elijah Wood hasn't aged a day.
No, right? It's almost like if he has the
Yeah.
one ring. Yeah, if you still put a Hobbit wig on him, he'll look exactly like that still.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Merry and Pippin.
That's not something you want to be doing. Playing with a lit firework.
That's in the shape of a dragon, right?
Okay, that's it. That's it for our minute by minute commentary.
That's it. We're still amongst the
Wow.
Bilbo's party, so we've got a good amount to go
No,
still.
we've been in this party for like 10 episodes now.
I don't know, Dan. Is this the new John Blake and Bruce's house scene where it seemed to last 20 episodes?
Yeah, I was thinking either this or it's going to be that the council scene or whatever it's called.
That's true. Yeah.
And don't tell me, Tim. I know I have it. I know I have it in my head. Okay. Oh my God. Um, ooh, I had it. I lost it. I'm trying to get it back. Uh,
Come on, Dane.
Rivendell.
There you
Rivendell.
go. There
I
you
got
go.
it. I got it, Tim. I got it. I'm the biggest Lord of the Rings fan you know.
Yeah.
You don't
You
have to
just
tell me
proved it
that,
right
Tim.
there.
I just proved it. Okay. I'm into the books of power. I mean the rings of power.
The bugs of
Uh,
power.
sorry, I just watched the the Book of Boba Fett. So
I can see how that would be on your mind.
the rings of power. I'm super into that show. I'm super into the movies and all the books. Tim.
You're so into it.
Uh,
You've seen it before it's even premiered. I mean, how much more do you need to prove that you're the biggest fan ever when you've seen it when no one else has?
exactly, exactly. Now I'm gonna get on the internet and be mean to people. Say I hate everything about the rings of power. Um, but anyway, let's do our future topic for this episode too.
Well, you mentioned it, so it's on your mind already. So we got to talk about the finale, I guess, just over the series overall of the Book of Boba Fett, which, sad to say, is these 7 weeks went by so fast. I'm sad that it's gone, but um, my general reaction to it is that I am very, very pleased with something I've been waiting for so long as a Star Wars fan, being a fan of Boba Fett, and just thinking something like this would be impossible to get back in the mid 90s when all I had were Boba Fett's brief appearance in The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and some comic stories, and that was it. And to be here now, getting a full series, getting stuff I've been wanting to see about the character for so long, and then getting a bunch of other stuff I wasn't expecting to have been there, just made uh, for me, a very satisfying series of Boba Fett, and to me, ended with a bang with that finale episode. And this may surprise you, Dane, but I've already seen so many mixed or reactions as well. People just
Oh,
really did not like this finale. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it, Tim. Um, for me, I have to reiterate because I don't see a lot of Star Wars podcasts talking about it. I have to reiterate, all you know about Boba Fett is he walked with Han frozen in carbonite into his ship, and he got knocked over by a blind guy after getting his blaster cut in half. That's all you know about this character. That's all you know. I mean, you mentioned the comics. The comics don't really matter because they're not referenced at all, right?
Mm.
Um, that's all you know about this character. Everything else you put into your head is is something that you put into your head. All you know about this character is you saw him walking once, and you saw him on a barge after he got knocked over into a Sarlacc pit by a blind guy. So that's all you know about this character.
Until Attack
And
of the Clones
speaking
came
of
out, of
that,
course. But
until Attack of the Clones, he was a kid and
yeah,
he didn't do anything in it, right?
and everyone complained
That's
about
all you
that too,
know.
so that didn't really
Yeah.
help matters for some fans. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
everyone, but for some fans.
Again, that's all you know about this character. Um, but going off of that, for a show that people hate so much, and I'm not talking about you specifically, Tim, and I don't include you or any other Star Wars fans that you know. Like for a show that you guys, and I'm not referencing you when I say you. um,
I understand.
yeah. For a show that you guys say you hate, boy, you guys can't shut up about it on Twitter. Because I got spoiled like crazy for that sixth episode, where
Oh no! Out of all episodes to get spoiled on.
with Luke,
Yeah.
with Yoda's lightsaber, I got spoiled on, and the big decision, right?
Let me
at
ask
the
you
end.
this: were you spoiled on Cad Bane appearing?
Yeah, I was spoiling Cat Bane.
Darn it.
Sorry, I forgot about that. For a show that you guys hate, you guys really can't shut up about it because I got
Right.
spoiled essentially on everything about that episode because I wanted to save that episode to watch episode 6 and 7 back to back, so I wouldn't
Ooh.
have to wait a week.
Oh man, I don't know how you would have been able. Did you actually do that, or when you got spoiled, did you just watch it?
No, I got spoiled, and then I watched it, and then I
Okay.
waited, and then with episode 7, same exact thing. I got spoiled on Twitter for it for episode 7, and then I just watched it last night. Um, but yeah, overall, I really like the show. I know a lot of people hate it. You guys can't shut up about how much you hate it. I loved it. I really did. It's kind of exactly what I wanted from a Boba Fett show. Sure, it would have been cool to see him doing bounty hunting, but it's called character progression, right?
Exactly.
Like he has to like not be the
Basically, the whole
bounty
point of the
hunter.
series, right, is him no longer being a bounty hunter.
Yeah, and hence the title Book of Boba Fett, right? The Book of Boba Fett, as in like he's creating legend on Tatooine, not you know not in the bounty hunting side of things, but like he's becoming the daimyo
Mhm.
and he's becoming essentially a mob boss. He's a mafia boss. He's Don Corleone, right? He's not, the he's not the cowboy gunslinger bounty hunter. He's something different. It's character progression, and I just don't see where people have a problem with that. Um, I I mean I know you've only seen him as a bounty hunter, but like it's the characters change and they move on, and I just can't see your complaint if you were to say that Boba Fett is this one specific kind of thing, he's this person, when essentially you have zero idea of who this character is, what his personality is like, and what he will become.
Mhm.
Because and I do not consider myself a Star Wars fan because I mean I
Don't
watch
say
all the
that, dude.
movies, I
You're a
watch all
fan.
the television shows. I collect the Black Series, the vintage collection, but I don't consider myself a Star Wars fan
I
because
don't know. That sounds like a fan
I,
to me,
I
Dane.
just yeah I just don't get where like I just don't get where the disconnect is between like you don't understand. I mean, you don't know anything about this character at all. I mean, I know it feels like you do because you read all the comics and you saw all the stuff, but like when it comes to what counts, all you know is essentially nothing. So I just don't see where the disconnect is. But um, yeah, overall, I really really love the series. I love Tim Morrison, and I don't know if that's part of it. I mean, I'm sure that is, but
Yeah,
I
he's
like the way
great.
he acts. I like his voice. I like his
Oh yes.
accent. Um, and I feel like he just plays Boba Fett in that right sort of way where he doesn't talk much. He has that deep, gravelly voice. And I really like the Kiwi accent.
Mhm.
And yeah, I thought it was, I thought it was near perfect, Tim. And yeah,
Oh yeah, here I agree with you. And like you said, just the whole point of the show is showing the progression of the character, going from a bounty hunter to someone who wants to be, for lack of better words, family. Because and they did it so well too, was showing him being accepted by the Tuscan tribe and just how that changed him forever. He was going to stay and live with them if they didn't get massacred. And once that happened, that set him on the path to create his own family and to see the progression of that character arc for him. I thought was done so well. And what I loved about the finale too, I mean, just with the amazing action, seeing him team up with Din Djarin, that was something I don't want to call it disappointment for Mandalorian season 2, but one of the things I was excited about once Boba Fett said, we're going to help you rescue the child. I was going, oh, if we get some cool action with Mando and Boba, that's going to look amazing. We didn't get it in the second season, but boy, did we get it in this finale, and it was glorious to behold. So regardless of me loving that action, what I loved about the finale, what it did for Boba's character is his showdown with Cad Bane. Kind of how I took it is that's him like facing the final step in him moving past that bounty hunter life behind fully, because in the Clone Wars we have those episodes never got finished, but for those who follow the Clone Wars and know everything about some of the unfinished episodes, we were going to get an arc to where Cad Bane trained Boba Fett, and we saw the episodes in season 2 where we first saw Boba work with Aura Singh and Boss, kind of the very beginning of his bounty hunter training. But I think it's safe to say, and I assume that those episodes were going to imply that the bulk of his bounty hunting training came from Cad Bane, and how he became the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy came from Cad Bane's teachings. And for the fact, as we said, the point of the story is him moving beyond that and becoming a new character, wanting to build his own family. The fact that Cad Bane was the last obstacle for him to fully achieve that, I thought was great. And the way he took him down, it was just really satisfying for where Boba Fett lost the draw that they had, showing that the way, kind of like the bounty hunter way of doing it, he lost. But how he beat Cad Bane was doing it the Tusken way, the way he was trained with his family. And that just to me was just great significance of showing how Boba Fett is finally taking that next step to becoming that character, using what he learned from his true family that trained him to take down Cad Bane, and ending, kind of fully putting to rest that bounty hunter life, and embracing him being the daimyo Tatooine and building his own family there. So that was just great. And I might as well talk about it now. I'm not sure if we mentioned it when we talked about it on a few episodes, but the music of the series was just amazing. I absolutely loved the theme they created for Boba Fett for the show. The theme that plays when the title screen comes, the theme that plays with the credits. They played it once Boba Fett grabbed that gaffy stick and took down Cad Bane. It was just like a fist pump moment. I loved it. So everything about that was great. To me, just a great way to culminate the journey we took with Boba Fett in this series, facing down Cad Bane, the man who brought him up to become that ruthless bounty hunter, and him wanting to move away from that life. He had to go through Cad Bane one last time to do that. So it was fantastic. And I just hope we do get the unfinished Clone Wars episodes released at some point. I think we will, because there's just kind of too much history there to ignore, especially when you see the dialogue that Cad Bane and Boba Fett had. So yeah, it was such a satisfying way to end this season. I'm stressing season because I hope this isn't a one and done series, because I think there is definitely more stories you can tell here with Boba Fett ruling on Tatooine and just some of the other things that could happen. And I actually think there's some unfinished business left with the Tuskens that were massacred. So I think there's more room to explore with that in the second season. So hoping that's the case. But yeah, I'm totally happy with how this first season of the Book of Boba Fett ended.
It's funny because I got spoiled on Cad Bane because of an article. I can't remember which website put it out. They said it said like something like what's next for Cad Bane. Oh no, sorry, I didn't get spoiled on Cad Bane. It was, I guess it was Cad Bane dying, right?
Okay.
And then the title was like, "What's next for Cad Bane?" Right? And then the article was like, "Well, we don't know." That's pretty much the entire article.
So it's the guy to use Han Solo's line. Well, I'm glad to hear you tell us these things, right?
Yeah.
Something so obvious.
I while we're on the subject of Cad Bane, I do have to mention, like, he looked awesome. He looked near perfect. I like the face, I like the teeth, and the voice. That was what's his name? Corey Burton, right?
Yep. I mean,
Ah,
they had
man.
to bring it back. If they didn't bring Corey Burton back for his voice, it was like, don't even bother, really, because he makes the character with his performance.
It's like he was adding something more to his voice to make it, deeper and more
Yeah,
sinister.
it was great.
Than like the Clone Wars or Bad Batch.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's too bad I was spoiled. But yeah, I love Cad Bane. The first live action Cad Bane we've gotten. Kind of makes me want the Cad Bane show now.
Hey, don't rule it out. I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen some complaints of how could you kill Cad Bane off already? He just brought him into live action. It's like, let's hold your horses a little bit, because the Star Wars timeline is vast and Cad Bane has been around for a long time. So just because if this is the final end to Cad Bane and his story doesn't mean we're not going to see him again in live action, especially with all the variety of Star Wars shows we have coming down the line in different eras. I definitely think we're going to see him again in live action.
yeah. I mean, I thought I thought for sure. I don't know why. Looking back on it, it's pretty stupid. But I thought that Cobb Vanth was definitely dead.
You see, when I first saw him get shot in episode 6, I thought, oh, he's
Yeah.
survived, because looking at people did these screen grabs where it clearly shows he gets shot in the shoulder area. I was like,
Oh, I see.
I think he survived. But then when I heard the character start talking how he's dead, and Mando was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
saying, I'm sorry about the march, you're like, oh man, did he really die? Well, that's a bummer, but glad to see that wasn't the case in the mid post credit scene.
yeah. I guess Thundercat brought him back.
Yeah. You know what? I never heard of Thundercats, so when I saw him appear, I didn't know it was like a cameo by like a celebrity cameo, I guess. I just thought it was a
Yeah.
new actor in a new role. I didn't know who Thundercat was,
Oh,
but
really?
no.
Uh, I hope he has more of a role in season 2 of Book of Boba Fett.
Well, it seems like Boba Fett's going to keep him on hand as, like, I don't know, the palace doctor or the
The
like
Resurrector.
operator. There you go, resurrector, because he might be 2 for 2 now with Fennec and Cobb Vanth.
Um, I do have to mention one hit against the first season is that awful chase scene.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the worst things I've ever seen in Star Wars. Yeah, that was really bad.
No argument for me. And you know how I always like to look, especially when it comes to Star Wars. And people probably think I'm just so biased on Star Wars that I never have anything negative to say about it. But
Yeah,
I can't. It's hard to defend that. That was not great.
yeah. I was thinking like, how would Tim try to defend it?
Yeah.
Maybe because those speeder bikes or whatever those things, the speeder motorcycles looked kind of cool. Maybe you could say that, Tim.
See, I don't even think they look great. Their designs aren't
Yeah.
good. They're too wide. If they were a little more sleek, I think they look cool. I like the coloring of them, especially the blue one. But yeah, even that I can't really defend too much. Speaking of them, do you want to hear what the big controversy was, in case you missed it, Dane, of the finale?
Uh-oh, what was it? What was it, Tim?
See if you even noticed it, because I didn't even notice it until I saw everyone complaining about it on Twitter. When the two mods, they're trying to, Black Chrysanthemum's getting hurt, like he's wobbling, he's wounded, and they go to help him,
Yeah.
and they kind of lift
Yeah.
him up to try to carry him. One of the I gotta get familiar with the names. I'm sorry, I sound like a bad Star Wars fan here, but the one with the eyepiece on his face.
Yeah.
As he's helping Chrysanthemum, some of the pikes start shooting at him, so he has to take out the pikes. But he does this spin move. It's very like a stylized spin move, and to shoot down the pikes. And everyone's complaining, why did he have to spin? Oh, this is ruining Star Wars. They're putting a flair into Star Wars that isn't needed. And it's like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Someone just did a quick spin move to shoot some enemies, and that ruins the episode for you. It's like, God, you got to be kidding me. It's like, like I said, I didn't even notice it the first time I saw it.
I remember the scene, but I don't exactly remember the spin
Yeah.
being that big of a deal for me.
It's just crazy. That's like one of those things where I gotta find something to complain about this episode. I know these
Yeah,
characters I don't really like in the first place. They did that. I'll jump on that and use that to justify my complaints about the episode and the entire series and why Disney has ruined Star Wars. This is the perfect example. That's what
because
it
of a
seems like.
character spin. Because the
Yes,
character spinned. But that's stupid.
beyond
Um,
stupid.
yeah. But speaking of the finale, I really I know people will probably have a problem with it, but I really like the Rancor as a kaiju.
Mhm.
I as a mini kaiju. Then I really liked it. Seeing him like destroy buildings and climbing to the top of that plateau
Yeah.
thing and fighting the two roller droids or whatever they're called. Yeah, I loved it, and seeing Boba Fett ride him, that was
It was a
pretty
sight
cool.
to behold.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if those reins hurt, because it goes into the Rancor's nose.
Yeah,
And
sad to say it probably does because you need something to kind of keep it under control if you need to. So
yeah, that's my big that, that's my big complaint, Tim,
yeah,
about the finale, and it's the reason why I don't like Book of Boba Fett is because of the animal cruelty that Boba Fett displays.
well, see, I understand that a lot more than I do the character spinning to make a shot.
Kidding. But yeah, I love the Rancor as a kaiju, climbing up on top of things and fighting the droids, and
Yeah, and it looked great too. The effects on it were fantastic.
yeah, and seeing Baby Yoda and the Rancor at the end sleep
Yeah,
next to each other, that was pretty cool.
because I didn't think they would, but I was like, I really hope they don't kill off the Rancor. I mean, the next we're seeing the second live action Rancor on screen. It'd be a real shame to have that one die too, especially when it's a
Yeah,
Rancor you're really rooting for, who's got you got the explanation of how they bond with their owners and how they're more peaceful unless they're provoked. So I'm glad this one survived.
yeah, and I was also glad to see. I mean, if you know anything about, I don't know, capitalism, I guess you could say, right? Is I really like seeing Grogu with or going off with the Mandalorian again, because A, we have to make more toys, right?
Mhm.
And B, uh, it's like they work so well together, Din Djarin and Grogu. So I was glad to see them go off together and see Grogu make the choice between becoming a Jedi like Luke, or going off with the Mandalorian and
Mm,
getting his baby chainmail.
yeah.
So the first time I saw that, I was like, what if he outgrows it? Are you just gonna add more like chinks to it, or
Good.
like more chinks in the armor? Like,
Yeah, just get some more Beskar. You can adjust it.
oh yeah,
And
I guess.
let's be honest, he's not going to grow that much bigger if you're looking at Yoda.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I mean, Yoda is bigger than Grogu,
He is, yeah.
so like, yeah, yeah, but yeah, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw the Mandalorian's gift. It was like, what if he gets bigger? Like, are you just gonna get?
Or just like how Mando added more pieces to his armor when he got more Beskar. I think that you could just
Yeah,
do that
yeah,
with a chainmail. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I'm hoping we see the day where more Beskar Grogu fully embraces becomes a Mandalorian, and he gets his own helmet. See the Mandalorian helmet in the shape of Yoda's species. I really want to see that.
Now, are you gonna make ear holes, or are you gonna like,
No,
or his ears
you gotta
gonna
put
bend down?
no, you
Yeah,
gotta make the helmet design have the ears. Like it has to cover
yeah.
everything. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Oh man, I want to see that, and I want to see people hate on that specifically. Um, I do have to say, I really like the Luke, the digital aging slash
Yeah,
CGI Luke. He looks so much better in
dude.
episode 6, and it's like not only did they get the face down, they also got the voice down too. And I just to be sure, I went back to Return of the Jedi and that opening scene that we first see Luke, and it's the same exact voice pattern
Mm.
as he was in the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, for me, like they got the CGI down finally, even though the I don't know for some reason I paused it. I paused the episode when Luke has Baby Yoda on his back and he's jumping across like this pond, and um there's one scene. It doesn't look like they added the CGI to the actor's face.
Mm.
It doesn't look like him at all.
Okay.
And but besides that, I love the CGI. I love the voice. They got the voice down. And the more I see of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, the more I think she is Ahsoka. Um, she's got everything down about that character. I
Mm.
love the makeup and the tails and the way she portrays Ahsoka. I I can't wait for this show that's gonna premiere in 2027. It seems like
No, dude, don't worry. It'll be 2023.
okay. I will take your word for it, but it seems like it's gonna premiere in 2027.
It feels like
Uh,
that because it's going to be so awesome for what we're hearing about it and who's going to be in it. So it's going to feel like
yeah,
it's a long way, but it'll be 2023 unless there's some unforeseen delay that happens with it. But right now, all signs are pointing to 2023.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I just love the way she portrays Ahsoka. I like the makeup. I have zero problem with it. I'm sure people have lots of problems with it, but from an Ahsoka fan who really like Ahsoka is my favorite Jedi, and from that perspective, I really like Rosario Dawson and the live action um, Ahsoka. So
Yeah.
yeah, they nailed Luke, voice and CGI finally. It's not like three different faces painted on somebody else's face talking at the same time. And yeah, of course, Ahsoka. I just love the Ahsoka. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. With Luke, I mean, it's kind of awesome how much the CGI improved from just 1 year, pretty much. But at the same time, I thought he looked pretty darn great in the Mandalorian season 2 finale. I mean, you could tell there was some CG work going on there, but this one's almost seamless. And Dane, can you believe this? But I'm gonna be the one who's a little nitpicky here. um,
uh-oh,
um,
uh-oh.
Luke's voice. I mean, I'm fine with it, but I can tell. To me, I just wish there was a little bit more emotion coming out of it in certain instances.
Yeah.
To me, it works overall though because he's still kind of in that teacher mode here when he's talking to Grogu. But
Mm,
a little bit in some of the ways he was talking to Ahsoka, you could just kind of tell it's through that program they're using because Mark Hamill doesn't record any dialogue for Luke. They're just, I don't know
sure.
if you remember and if you saw that behind the scenes special they had on the Mandalorian season 2 finale with Luke, where they talked about how they created the voice for it, or it's basically a program that's taking every bit of spoken dialogue that Mark Hamill has done over the years and they put it into this program to where they can have the tone of his voice and kind of create their own dialogue through that. And it's the program that's pretty much doing the voice really. So, but I think you could tell that in certain instances here. So
Yeah.
I think that's the
Well,
last thing that they'd have to perfect to just make it truly seamless. But again,
well,
they're almost there. They're close.
yeah. To be fair, I like I said, I did go back and listen to his voice in Return of the Jedi because, like you, I had the same complaint about it.
Mhm.
Like it was really robotic and stilted. And then I went back to Return of the Jedi, and then that first scene when he's talking to Jabba the Hutt, and he has that same exact cadence and the same exact stiltiness, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
in his voice, and it's the same exact way he's talking in that uh, in that scene. It seems like they just took that one scene and they based his entire voice around that. And after going back, like I have zero problem with it now because he's Master Luke, I guess you could say,
Yeah. It's, oh, it's
in
so
that
good to
one
see.
scene. So
I mean,
um,
it was a magical
yeah,
sequence. I mean, I could not believe what I was seeing in that
yeah,
episode.
yeah,
And Kyle was saying when we're talking about the last on our last episode, talking about episode 5 of the Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett, where it's pretty much the Mandalorian season 3 premiere, and just how
yeah.
I felt. It's my one complaint is that it's taken a little bit away from more Boba Fett in his own series. But with this one, it was pretty much the same thing because Boba Fett was in for like one scene and didn't even talk. But it's like if you're gonna do that, you do it with episodes like this, where they're just such monumental Star Wars stories that are being told here. Like I'll look past that complaint I would have about it when you're giving me Star Wars content like this that I've never seen before, and it's just making me feel like how Star Wars is the greatest thing ever. I mean, I always feel that way, but when I see episodes like that, it just brings it to the forefront where it's like, this is why I love Star Wars so much. This is why nothing else compares to it for me. Is when we get these magical moments and episodes like this. So it's
Mm.
one of those things where okay, I can accept where Boba Fett is not in these 2 episodes at all, but yet if I'm getting stories like this, it's I can look past that because I'm just glad we're getting these type of Star Wars stories that we got in those 2 episodes.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I mean, especially for you Marvel fans, you guys understand what they're doing, right? I mean,
Hmm.
I know the show is called Book of Boba Fett, and I know that other show is called The Mandalorian, and I know there's another show called Bad Batch or whatever. But you, you I hope you Marvel fans know what they're doing. It's the Marvelization, I guess you could say, of the Star Wars universe,
Yeah,
and I think it works really well. Um, it's the civil warring of the Star Wars universe because like Captain America: Civil War is barely about Captain America, right? Um, it's the same thing with Book of Boba Fett. It's not. I mean, it's got his name in the title, but it's not specifically about Boba Fett in that sense. It's like they're trying to connect everything and make it sort of a bigger story
yeah,
that they can launch other things off of, like the Mandalorian. Like this is the pre premiere of Mandalorian season 3. Um, he's got this Boba Fett connection. He's got the I don't know Fennec Shan connection. He's got the Luke connection. He's got the Ahsoka connection, and we're gonna do season 3 of the Mandalorian, and that will have connections to different other separate things, right? And we're gonna create this big thing, and uh, unlike the Marvel universe, I will actually sort of get it. Me personally. So yeah, I mean, like that's probably the biggest complaint I see of for the Book of Boba Fett. It's not about Boba Fett, right? Besides the fact that oh, Boba Fett's not like how he was in I don't know Empire, Return of the Jedi. It's the Book of Boba Fett. It's not about Boba Fett, and why would you have a show about or a title with the name Boba Fett or Boba Fett's name in it and not have it about Boba Fett? And it's the Marvelization or the Civil Warization of of um, of the Star Wars universe. And I think don't quote me on this, Dan, but I think Star Wars will benefit from this,
oh
especially
yeah,
their TV
definitely.
shows, especially their TV shows. And yeah, love it. I'm on board with it. Even though I'm not that big of a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe doing that, but um, yeah, me personally, I love it.
Yeah, and I guess for me, because in the end, I think it's all going to work out beautifully because there are working towards kind of like an event series that's going to culminate to all the other series leading up to this big kind of climactic end to it. And I think when it's all said and done, it's all going to connect and work beautifully as one big story with these characters. I guess for me, the reason why I had a little bit of a problem with that is because I'm just not sure if Boba Fett's a one and done series. If it gets another season, then like I'd be totally fine with it after that. Because it's the part of me is like, if this is all we're gonna get of a Boba Fett TV show, I kind of want as much to focus on him as possible. That's kind of where my in between comes on that whole instance of dedicating 2 episodes to Mando without Boba. But if Boba Fett gets another season, then yeah, I think it won't even be an issue for me anymore. So, but at the same time, it's not really an issue for me now because I loved what we got in those 2 episodes, and it's really hard to complain about that, especially once the finale satisfied me the way it did with Boba's character and the arc he went on in the series. It could have been a little more, yeah. Like I said, especially I think more with him dealing with the realization of what happened with the Tuscans. But overall, I was definitely satisfied for where Boba's story ended here in the finale, despite not getting 2 episodes without him. And it's funny. One of the funny jokes or meme I've seen about that whole topic is how everyone's been who's not liking Boba Fett in the series and has been wanting him to be like how he was in the original trilogy. Well, those 2 episodes, Boba Fett had limited screen time and hardly any dialogue. So that's the Boba Fett you remember.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I if we do get and this is such a small little thing that is probably stupid, but um, if we do get a season 2 of Boba Fett, I hope we get his ship, and I hope we get the mines. Um, no,
The seismic charges.
yeah, the seismic charges in episode 2.
Mm.
I hope we get a scene of that because that's the coolest sound effect in all of Star Wars.
Well, we did get it this season.
Did we?
Yeah,
No, we
that's
didn't.
how he blew up the Sarlacc.
Really?
Yeah, remember the Sarlacc was
I
dragging
don't
down
remember
Slave
that.
One, and Fennec jumped to release the charge, and it
Oh,
took out the
right,
Sarlacc.
right. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take
Well,
that
hey, if we
back.
get more of that, I'm not going to complain. But
Yeah, yeah. Also, I do really like the redesign of Boba Fett's armor. One of the coolest armors in Star Wars.
yes,
Um, I'm glad they got rid of the cargo pants.
I still like the cargo
didn't
pants, but this
age.
was a great update to it. It definitely was.
Yeah, yeah. To me, the cargo pants didn't really age that well. I like the more armored look and the black. Um, so yeah, I'm glad they got rid of the cargo pants.
Yeah, the armor on the black is a great look. I will say there's just something about his helmet, the beat up look of his helmet, like that he first got it in how it looked in the original trilogy, and then when he got it back in The Mandalorian season 2. I just like how it looks when it's all rugged and beat up with like the paint peeling off and all that. It's just a cool look to it. But I know Boba Fett felt the need to get a new paint job on it. And even now it's getting some wear and tear already. So it might be back to that rugged look sooner rather than later.
Do we know that that's actually Pedro Pascal in the Mandalorian
We
armor?
don't know for sure. I kind of
Yeah.
guessing it's not because I know he's been shooting the Last of Us series.
Yeah.
So it might have been something where he was only able to
His
do the
voice.
voiceover and just kind of get
Yeah.
ready for season 3 for where they need him a lot more than these final 3 episodes here. So it'd be cool if he
Yeah.
did, but I have a feeling it wasn't him on set.
That's what I would. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I would just stay home. We're shooting Mandalorian season 3. Okay, so I'm gonna just stay home, and a stunt double is gonna put on the armor and everything and do all the stunts, and I'm just gonna do the voiceover, and then the one scene a season where I take off my helmet, I'm gonna be there. Right?
That's a pretty sweet gig, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't complain about that.
No, I definitely think in season 2 he's in the armor a lot more than he was in season 1. They have some
I
behind the
see.
scenes stuff where you can actually see him in there. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be the case for season 3 as well. Which they said they should be done shooting in March, so that's going to be wrapping up pretty soon.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed him, but I think it was the final episode. It had to have been the final episode of Book of Boba Fett. There's a couple scenes where you could see through the tint of Boba's helmet, and you could see, I guess, Tim Morrison's face,
Huh. I see.
the outline of his face.
I didn't
Yeah.
pick up on that. No.
Well, I mean, you're probably too concerned with other characters doing spins, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so distracting. You're right. Just
Uh,
look that up, Dave, because everyone's creating gifs of it now, and just see how ridiculous the complaint about that is. It's just God.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
It's one of those things, like I said, yeah, it's a little ridiculous in the series, sure, but at the same time, how can you let something so minute ruin the episode for you? That's where I really think you're just looking for anything to pick apart on.
I, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just love seeing some of the response that people have that's showing other Star Wars character spins, like Obi-Wan doing a spin move when he was fighting Darth Vader in A New Hope, and like the best one is using Anakin's line in Phantom Menace, where he said, "I'll try spinning. That's a good trick." It's like, see, people are just taking heart to what Anakin's doing there.
Perhaps the mod thought the spin would give him the element of surprise.
And maybe that's what his mod readout on his eye mod that he has told him. The only way to get a shot in is you have to do a spin here. Made the calculations, and the only way to get that shot would be a spin.
Well, I mean, this article from Screen Rant is saying that that's sort of like Robert Rodriguez's style. Like, he likes to make things like over the top.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too, and it makes sense.
Oh, and his name is Scad.
Scad.
Yeah. I did like you know the girl mod, I guess you could say. I did like her little blaster.
Yeah,
little, like,
it was funny
pistol.
when you're teaming up with the people for Freetown. It's like, you're gonna try to snipe with that thing. It's like, no, here, take the rifle.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah. I don't get it. I didn't even notice it, to be honest.
Same here, yeah.
No, I'm glad I'm not the only one then.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw people complaining, like, what spin move? And I saw it with that. Okay.
So yeah, I guess overall, this is gonna be like a 4.5 out of 5 for me. The Book of Boba Fett. I really like the season. I guess I'm on board. I guess most people aren't on board with what they're trying to do with Boba Fett, make him more than just the bounty hunter, and bring in other characters. The marvelization of the Star Wars universe. I guess I'm on board with all of that. Like, I have zero problem with it.
Same here.
Yeah, I think it's a 4.5 out of 5 because of that one scene of the chase scene. Tim, I'm sorry, I just can't get that out of my head. I know it's people have destroyed it on Twitter, but I just I just can't get it out of my head. That's like, that was bad.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. A 4.5 is exactly what I'm going to give it. It was almost exactly what I was hoping for a series about Boba Fett in those first 2 episodes. And then in between, I got stuff I wasn't expecting, but I loved it so much, and it just added more to his character. And yeah, there were some bumps along the way. Like you said, that action sequence there with the mods is going to go down as one of the worst sequences in Star Wars. And you know what? That's okay. If we can get one of those every once in a while, who cares? I mean, amongst all the other great stuff we got in this series alone and in Star Wars in general, I think we could survive a pretty weak chase sequence. So, yeah, 4.5 out of 5. I love this series, and I just hope we get more because I think there's definitely more you can do with Boba in this new stage of his life.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying about the Clone Wars arc not getting finished, between or with Cad Bane and Boba, how like Cad Bane sort of trained Boba. So technically, we haven't seen him trained yet.
Yeah.
So how does he know how to use a blaster?
He got pretty trained at an early age with that from Django. He will know how to use the blaster by the time Django died.
Yeah, but we didn't see it, and so because we know Star Wars fans, the most important scene is the training scene, right? We didn't see Boba Fett train to use the blaster, so that's my biggest complaint, and that's why I don't like Book of Boba Fett. Tim, sorry.
And here I thought we were ending on a positive note, but
but no, yeah, I loved it. You loved it, and now we just gotta wait till May, late May, for
May 25th. I mean, we got the date.
For what, Tim?
The biggest Star Wars event of the year, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This is going to be this. As much as I absolutely love the Book of Boba Fett, I think this is going to be on another level with that. It's just, I think, going to be incredible. I just can't wait to see it, but then probably get a trailer probably in a month or two, I would think. So that's going to be awesome just to see. But for the little teases we've got and what they got planned for the series, it's going to be something truly special, I think. And I just cannot wait to get it. And now we know when, May 25th, 45 years to the day of the premiere of New Hope. So that's kind of cool how I think they're tied it in with that. There's some speculations that maybe it'd be May the 4th, but I kind of like how they're doing it here. For the very first time, everyone saw Obi-Wan Kenobi in theaters 45 years ago. We'll be seeing him again. So I think that's some nice symmetry there. So yeah, it's just crazy to think how got a Boba Fett series, and the next series we're going to get after that is one about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, who cares? Just wasting energy complaining about this stuff when we're just living still in the golden age of Star Wars. So it's awesome. I cannot wait. And it's not going to be that long of a wait, too. That's what makes it even better coming off of the Book of Boba Fett.
What if the trailer for Obi-Wan, whenever that comes out, is just another video like that Disney Plus
another behind the scenes look.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm glad to be Obi-Wan again. Here's some art. Okay, this is done. There's your trailer.
Well, I'll probably be disappointed, but at the same time, the art that they will show will still get me plenty excited for it. So it'll probably still have the same effect.
How involved is Hayden Christensen going to be in Obi-Wan?
That's the question.
How much of a role? Yeah.
No, I think he's actually going to, because I think Ewan McGregor even said in an interview, he got to work with Hayden as Obi-Wan and Anakin again. He didn't say Darth Vader. So that's leading me to believe there's going to be some flashbacks. And I would absolutely love that.
Yeah. I hope Ahsoka's in it too.
Heck now, she showed up in Boba Fett. Anything's possible. So I think there's definitely a chance.
Yeah. But besides that, do we have any other news, Tim?
Just a few things regarding the Batman. We're so close to it now. I got my tickets. They went on sale this week. They had those special IMAX preview screenings like 2 days before. Wasn't able to get those. They sold out pretty quickly. But I got my tickets for the Thursday screening at 7, which I got to say, I don't know, I'm a little concerned that I know it wasn't going to be on the same anticipation level as Spider-Man No Way Home, where it broke the internet and you took hours just to get tickets. But at least for my theater, I mean, it's still pretty much empty for those early Thursday screenings. I got mine pretty late in the day after work and exactly where I wanted, and only the few seats were filled. So I was like, kind of hoping this isn't a sign of like the Batman maybe not doing the box office numbers that kind of we expect from a Batman movie, and there's kind of a lack of interest for it, because I hope not, because I mean, as we talked about, everything we've seen from it is looking great. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just something that people aren't too much aware of, and as they get closer to the release date, we'll get the tickets. But that did catch me by surprise a little bit, just seeing how empty the theater was so far with booking tickets.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you because I know a lot of people had problems getting No Way Home tickets.
Yeah.
I didn't. The theater was kind of empty, if you were to ask me. But when I did see it, and I had, of course, no problems with the Batman tickets. So yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, is it the same sort of like anticipation, or is it like different? Because there was no difference. Like I had zero problems getting No Way Home tickets, and I had
Okay.
zero problems getting the Batman tickets. I didn't get the IMAX ones. I just got the regular tickets. So
Is your theater like
yeah,
you're showing like at 6 or 7 or something like that for
yeah,
Thursday?
it's at 7.
Or is
Yeah,
your theater doing like earlier screenings like at 3? Because mine goes like the earliest is at 3. And I was like, man, that's because I saw that for Spider-Man too. I guess that's becoming the new normal, at least in my area. But does yours have like earlier showings
yeah.
than that too?
I didn't see any 3 o'clock. It was just the 7 and later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe that's not everywhere then just yet.
yeah. So like I I have zero reference for like how fast tickets are going because like I saw on Twitter when No Way Home the No Way Home tickets went on sale that like people are like no my theater sold out or I got my tickets and yada yada
Yeah, I mean,
but
I was up till midnight
like
that
I
Sunday waiting for my computer to load the
really
screen to buy the tickets. Yeah, they went on sale at 9. I couldn't get them till midnight. And it was like
and your
I
theater
had to
was
stay
packed
up because I know if I didn't, I wouldn't get the seats I wanted. So I just had to make sure I stayed up and kept refreshing.
and your theater was packed
Yeah, it was full, but I
like
got the
no
seats I
seat
wanted.
available
So
oh wow yeah for me it was like I mean, there was definitely people there but like it wasn't like I remember The Dark Knight Rises and like the anticipation for that movie.
mm,
Different time, but I remember like the theater being packed, to the brim with people.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
mine was for that too.
and like yeah, and like No Way Home, it was like I saw open seats. Well, I went to an assigned seat theater, and yeah, I saw open seats, and I was like, oh, maybe this is not so big over here.
I mean, yeah, because Spider-Man: No Way Home was pretty close to the Dark Knight Rises experience, where only a few seats in the very front were empty. Everything else was pretty
Yeah,
much full.
yeah. Oh,
But
well, at least we got tickets. So.
exactly, that's the most important thing. We're going to see it, so that's the most important. And yeah, the only other thing that I wanted to mention real quick is yesterday we kind of got DC put out a teaser for the upcoming movies coming out this year. I think it's pretty much their Super Bowl TV spot. It's a minute long and it shows footage from the Batman, but also new footage from Aquaman, the Flash, and those look cool. They're very brief, but giving us more looks at Jason Momoa in his classic Aquaman suit, his new like black stealth suit, and then Flash's new suit where he has like these goggles that come down on his eyes on the mask. But the biggest takeaway to me that got me excited was the footage they showed from Black Adam. Because not only did we get more of The Rock as Black Adam, who looks great in the role, but seeing our first looks at the Justice Society, Hawkman, Adam Smasher, and the one who looks the absolute best, Dr. Fate. Boy, does his costume look awesome in this movie. And we've seen Dr. Fate in live action before. He was in Smallville, but you're comparing like apples to oranges when it comes to comic, or as far as costume, the budget for a costume, I should say, for a TV show back in the mid 2000s to a movie now in 2022. Dr. Fate looks amazing. I cannot wait to see him on the big screen. But all the rest of the Justice Society too, because Adam Smasher looked really cool too. It just that brief clips of him slowly getting bigger as he's running. So, Black Adam is shaping up to be really cool. Not only just with him, but what they're going to do with the Justice Society and how their costumes look in the movie has me really excited. So that was a cool little teaser to get to. Just kind of Warner Brothers and DC trying to build the hype for the movie slate for 2022, because looks to be a pretty cool year for DC movies with the Batman, the Flash, Aquaman, and Black Adam. So definitely gets you excited. So that was definitely cool to get.
Oh, so that was their Super Bowl spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of smart. Just combine everything into one, because some of the movies are a little far off, but let's just get everyone aware of what's coming in 2022.
Yeah, I hope they. I mean, I'm sure they are, but I hope they put the Rings of Power trailer on YouTube as soon as they can.
Oh, they will. I mean, that's like the standard now. I am surprised that all these like trailers that are supposed to be for the Super Bowl are coming out early, because we also got the Jurassic World Dominion trailer, which looks awesome. I cannot wait for that. Just seeing Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, Ian Malcolm all together again, mixing with the new characters and the dinosaurs roaming over the earth. It just looks great. I cannot wait for it. But I knew that was coming for the Super Bowl, but I didn't expect to get it a few days early. We got the DC one a little early too, so it's almost like, what's the point of waiting for the Super Bowl ads when you're getting them early? So Lord of the Rings is pretty much the only one left that I'm really looking forward to seeing on the Super Bowl. So we still got that, but I was surprised of some of the stuff coming out earlier than I was expecting.
So now that we're done with the news, do you want a quick Mass Effect update?
Yes, give it to me. Mass Effect 2.
Okay, so I do not know where I am in the game. I I got, let me see. I just got Grunt, and I got Jack. I got Hitman. What's his name? Saeed.
Saeed, yeah, okay. Probably my least favorite squad member in the Mass Effect series.
I still haven't used him.
Yeah, I never used him except for the ones you have to.
Yeah, like his specific missions.
Mm.
I did Miranda's mission. I did Jack's mission. You see, because there's no like, okay, so we're going here, and then we got to do this to progress the story. This is more
it's
like
all your choice. You could go any way you
yeah,
want.
yeah. So I finished Liara story.
Okay.
I think that was the last thing I did. Yeah, I finished the Liara story on. I forget the planet's name, but it takes you to another planet, and
Ilium.
Actually, yeah, that was actually a longer storyline than I expected.
Yeah, because that is a DLC one, and it was a pretty lengthy DLC. So, but once they put all that in there, it's just part of the game now. So, but that's why it was so lengthy.
I see. So that was a DLC. That wasn't part of the original game.
Yeah. Mm. But it's an awesome mission, though. I love that one. It's like a little bit of episode 2 in there. You got a murder attempt in a building, like the planet looks like Coruscant. You go on a speeder chase.
Yeah. That again, Mass Effect with the vehicles. They have to get their controls correct.
Yeah, it wasn't great on that one.
Yeah.
When I played it again, I was like, yeah, this one was not good. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. So the last thing I did before I got busy with work in the week and everything was I finished the one mission where you go into the collector ship, and you get finally a good automatic machine gun.
Yeah.
Because like the two that you're given, I mean, I only have two. I'm sure there's like you go to this planet and then you mine this, and then you go into the cave and then you do whatever, right? And then you get the secret ultimate weapon, machine gun, right? I didn't do that, and like the two machine guns that I did have were, they just weren't. It's like they didn't level up with me. It's like no matter which one I picked, like I got a 5-shot burst rifle, and then I got a fully automatic one, and yeah, I just couldn't they just weren't up to snuff. And finally, I got this. I got the collector's machine gun, and it's like it's blowing everybody away. So that's the last thing I finished. So
Okay.
how far along in the game am I?
You're, I guess, midway, I'd be safe to say. Because I think you still got a lot of the characters' loyalty missions to do, which is a big chunk of it.
Yeah,
But there's
yeah.
maybe not too much left for the main story missions that you have to do, but the loyalty missions are some of the most fun ones. So those are what
Mm,
I love the best.
yeah. Um, I'm just curious about your team makeup in Mass Effect 2. I
Yeah.
am
So
using I, I am using Miranda and Grant. I was
okay.
using Grant and Jack, but Jack kept on dying.
Oh.
So um, yeah, I've been using Miranda and Grant.
Yeah. So maybe the only complaint I have about Mass Effect 2 is that Liara is not a playable character in this one. So, but I still use Garrus, but the one who I used to replace Liara was Miranda. She was a great use of biotics too, and
Yeah.
so using her and Garrus, they were my go-to squad members for the second one.
See, even Garrus was dying too.
Really?
Yeah,
I loved
Garrus
his
was
first
dying.
mission where you recruit him as Archangel. I love how he's pretty much the vigilante on the, the
Yeah,
planet Omega. Such a great mission.
yeah, and all of the gangs hate him for some
Yep,
reason.
he's taking them all out. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Um, Saeed, I don't really care about. He's like the most like he is the Caden of Mass
Yeah,
Effect 2.
even
Where it's
worse,
just like
I'd say.
I don't even know who you are, man. Get off my ship.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if you do his loyalty missions, there you get an interesting
yeah.
choice of what to do with them. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. Maybe I might do that if it's not too long. Um, I can't remember her name. Uh, oh my God. The hacker. The hacker.
Tally,
No, not Tally.
someone in your squad, part of your squad, right?
Yeah. It's not Tally though. You meet her when you go back to the
Oh,
Citadel
oh,
for the first time.
Kasumi. That's yeah.
Yeah, Kasumi.
See, I think more of as
Uh,
like if you would have said the ninja, I would have thought okay, Kasumi.
yeah, the ninja. Yeah, yeah. I how do you use her?
Honestly, I never really used her that much in my
Oh,
squad.
okay,
She has a
okay.
real
So I'm
fun,
not the.
yeah, she has a fun loyalty mission,
Oh, really?
but you really don't even use her that much in that too. I mean, just kind of towards the end, but it's a different like change of pace of a mission that you do. That's pretty fun.
Yeah. Because I'm getting a little irritated because after I got done with the collector's ship, right? You talk to the illuminating man, and then
The
um
elusive man.
the elusive man, right? Sorry. Um, you talk to the elusive man, and he's like, "Oh, I sent you into a death trap, and you know, just to see what was going on." And after that, he's like, "Oh, by the way, you can get some more members of your team." And it's like, I just got all these people for my team. Like, why do I have to get more people?
Well, when you do the final mission, you'll understand why.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like you need all the help you can get.
Just as long as it isn't too long of a mission, like Liara's one, but I guess Liara's one was a DLC, so
No, yeah, that's probably the longest one in the game.
yeah. Okay. But yeah, overall, I really like it. I just wish they didn't do the ammo drop stuff, and it was
Hmm.
just the energy weapons, and you had to like manage the heat on the weapon.
Okay.
Um, yeah, overall, I really like it. The combat,
Did
the
did you
actual
notice a
combat
vast
is
improvement from the first one,
it's a
right?
huge
Yeah.
improvement over the first one. It makes the first game, Mass Effect 2, in general makes Mass Effect 1 look archaic and old, um, and in certain ways like majorly inconvenient.
Mhm.
Mass Effect 2, it's like uh, they almost got the combat right. I just wish it was a little more fluid, especially when you're going from cover to cover. Um,
And
but
they
over,
even make small improvements over to Mass Effect 3 too. Not as big of a jump from 1 to 2, but still one noticeable ones from 2 to 3.
yeah, in fact, the combat was the first thing I noticed when I first started playing the game.
Yeah.
Was like the combat was so much smoother than Mass Effect 1, and yeah, just the gunplay in general is so much better. I, I I just wish you didn't have to go and pick up ammo every time, because there's some gunfights like uh they sort of do it in waves. It's like waves of enemies.
Yeah. Mm.
It's not like everybody at once. There's been a couple times like I've run out of bullets or whatever, and that gets inconvenient having to like break cover and then go run around and try to
Yeah.
find the
You got
ammo
to pack
drop.
a lot of weapons. I mean, there are instances where you have to use a lot of the weapons you have equipped on you.
Yeah, especially the heavy weapons.
Mm.
It's like and that's the one that I keep forgetting about, because there's like this one scene. I mean, there's this one part where you have to with Liara's mission. At the end, you have to fight. Oh no, sorry, not Liara. I think it's Kasumi. Uh, I think it's her mission. You have to fight like this big bat wing looking thing that's flying all over the place.
Hmm.
And for the longest time, like I was just shooting it with my regular machine gun, and then like I realized like, oh right, I totally forgot I have like that pulse laser thing, and as soon as I realized that, I took it down. So
Yeah.
it's great how you have to like sort of use all your weapons. You can't just use your machine gun like how you did in Mass Effect 1. There's even some fights you have to use your sniper rifle. Like I don't think I touched the sniper rifle in Mass Effect 1, but in Mass Effect 2, there's some scenes. I mean, there's some situations where you got to use your sniper rifle too. So yeah, that the gunplay in general is leaps and bounds better than Mass Effect 1, and yeah, I'm loving the game so far. I like the story. I just wish that you didn't have to do so much. Like, okay, so we got to go here and finish this guy's mission and then her mission, and then you got to go to a derelict ship. You know. So yeah, I love it, Tim. I don't know what
And
else
I
to
knew you
say.
would. If you like the first one, I knew you like the second one. Now, the one
Yeah,
question I got to ask you, Dame. I
yeah.
said I wanted to see your create a character. You created a character, and you sent me a picture of it. And you wanted to make the ugliest looking character in Mass Effect, and I think you succeeded. But are
Yeah.
you actually playing with that character?
No, I toned it down a little bit.
Thank
Um,
goodness.
yeah, yeah. I realized that yeah, it may be funny right now, but in the middle of Mass Effect 3, it might not be so funny.
No, it's yeah.
um,
I can only imagine some of those things that go down in Mass Effect 3 with this character you created.
but I do have one big criticism of the Mass Effect games, Tim, and I I don't mean to break your heart, Tim, but I wish I could go back and I wish I could change the gender of um, my shepherd
From the very
to make
beginning,
it
you want
yeah,
you
to make it a
want
woman.
to play as female shepherd.
Yeah, as the female shepherd, because the voice acting for the male shepherd is awful. It's
I
like
wouldn't say that. No.
it's I can't stand it. It's so
Really?
I mean we were talking earlier about how Luke was robotic, like how they used the computer to make his voice. This is robotic also, and it's like I wish I could go back and change it to the female shepherd.
That's a thing I'll have to strongly disagree with you on there.
I mean, I haven't heard the female shepherd's voice, but
Well, it's
I
Vanessa
don't imagine
Marshall, who's a voice acting legend, pretty much. So you're gonna get a great performance from her. So
she did Hera, right?
yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I think I'm mixing her up with uh, the person who's actually doing the female shepherd voice, because Vanessa Marshall does do Hera. But man, now why am I blanking on her name? I'm gonna have to look it up. I just said she's a voice acting legend. Now I'm confusing her. So, but you know her voice a lot. Like once you hear it, she does a lot of stuff.
Jennifer Hale.
There it is. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
blanking on that, but
Jennifer Hale. Okay. Yeah, but that's one thing I just wish I could change is I would do the female shepherd. I do like how in this one, it's like the way they explain it in the game, how you can change how your shepherd looks is he gets burnt up in the atmosphere of a planet,
yeah,
and they reconstruct his body or whatever. Yeah. Also, the graphics are a huge upgrade
that looks
in
great.
in uh, in Mass Effect 2. It's like it actually looks next generation.
Yeah, they did a great job with. I mean, that's why I think I said this before. The engine for the Mass Effect game is so good that you just have to do a little bit of upgrades and remaster to have it feel like it's in the current generation of video game consoles.
Yeah. I mean, it holds up really well, and I'm sure Mass Effect 3 looks even better. So
That it does.
yeah, and I'm so glad they got it to 60 frames per second, because there's some games like Assassin's Creed Origins. Like the only reason why I haven't beaten the DLCs for those is because it's not 60 FPS.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm glad the Mass Effect Ultimate Trilogy Edition is 60 frames per second.
Yeah, it runs nice and smooth.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm loving it. I want to play it as soon as we're done with this sim.
Nice.
And
We'll see if you'll be able to beat it by our next episode to give your thoughts on the ending and how that transpires in that final mission. Because I'll be curious to see
yeah,
how it plays out for you.
you see, without spoiling it, Tim, is it like a big ending, like or is it a bigger ending than Mass Effect 1?
I think it's a bigger one than Mass Effect 1, but there's just so many different things that can happen during the course of that mission that I'm curious to see how it ends up playing out for you.
Okay. The one thing I do know is Miranda and Shepard get together, or she at least survives, and they get together, and they have a kid who you play in Mass Effect Andromeda.
Is that part of the story in that game?
I believe so.
It can't be. I don't think
yeah.
they. I don't know, because I don't think they'd do anything that would specifically have like a definitive canon version of Shepard for that.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, because obviously there's a bunch of different ways you can go with how you play your Shepard. But I don't think they just kind of pick one thing.
I am mistaken, too.
Okay, I thought so. That didn't sound right.
Yeah, you play somebody named Ryder.
Yes, because I knew definitely the main character has no relation to Shepard at all.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown plays Ryder, the male Ryder.
Oh, okay.
You still haven't played it, have you, Tim?
Nope. It's probably still going to be a while.
But anyway, is that it for our episode, Tim?
I think that should just about do it.
Okay. Just go over to BatmanUniverse.net, Facebook.com/BatmanUniverse, Twitter handles at BatmanUniverse, the show's Twitter handles at Bat-Fans, podcast, Tim's Twitter handles at PG311, my Twitter handles at DaneSaysBanana. Rate and review us on iTunes, and you can email the show at batfansandallfans@gmail.com. So we see you at the end of every single episode, Tim.
We love each and every. Let me say that again. We love each and every one of you with all of our spin shooter attack hearts.
Spin shooter. We'll see you guys next time.
See you next time, everybody.